going to make you do the thing that probably climbers hate doing, but I'm going to ask you to rank these V17s that you've done, these 9A boulders that you've done for you, and this is obviously very personal. Let's go easiest to hardest on the V17s that you've done.
Yeah. So the first thing I'm going to say is between the four of them, you can kind of split them into two groups. I think Spots of Time and Burden are very similar. They're both super similar amount of moves. One's 5 moves, one's 4 moves. They're kind of board style, very short and crimpy, powerful. Whereas Alphane and Return of the Sleepwalker are both like double the length and quite different styles. So that's like the first thing to note.
Mm-hmm.
I think Burden was the hardest personally for me, but, and this is what I've said a little, I think, but not very well, maybe on like 8A or something. I did Nally's original sequence, I think, throughout the whole thing. Whereas the two guys that have repeated it since, Simon and Elias, both used different sequences. Potentially those other sequences could make it feel easier. Obviously I don't know, because personally the way that I did it is the hardest for me. And then not 100% sure. Honestly, in the next three, it's hard to rank. Spots of Time went pretty fast in terms of sessions, and I don't think didn't feel as hard as Burden, but also suits my style a lot more. It's very much in my box, which makes it really hard to tell, and I'm trying to keep that in mind. And I was like, oh, you know what, maybe it is actually pretty hard because it is very much in my style. And although it didn't take tons of sessions, it didn't take it wasn't just a handful, it was quite a few. And after doing it, I've had that same sort of physical, like we were talking about at the beginning, mental break where I feel very broken and tired. Mm-hmm. And even on the second go, after the second go, I felt like I was had nothing left. I just fully out of crimp and everything. So potentially that one in second. I'm going the wrong way from what you asked. I'm going hardest to easiest right now, but I think Burden's hardest and potentially Spots, and then I'd say probably Return, and then Alphane. But I'm really not sure between Alphane and Return. I think one, because it was there was 2 years between them, and they're not that different hold style in a way, but they climb very differently. Alphane's a lot more body tensiony, whereas Sleepwalker's a lot more on physical in the hands and the arms rather than the rest of the body. But yeah, hopefully that makes a bit of sense. I don't know. I find it hard to rank them against each other.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I mean, it's just a wild thought experiment here, and somebody else may have a totally different experience and different opinion. But it is interesting how you broke those up, because they do kind of now categorize themselves into these two different styles. Alphane, from conversations that I've had with other incredibly strong climbers, seems to be the one that more often than not is questioned whether it's a soft 17 or a hard V16. And I'm curious if, looking back, because it has been some time now, if you climbed Alphane now, do you feel like your experience on it might be different? Have you explored those conversations at all?
It's a good question. I haven't thought about it from that point of view, and it maybe would be interesting to go back and actually try it again.
All right, y'all, just a quick second here to tell you about the sponsor of this video, and that is our friends over at Rungni. I love Rungni so much. Y'all know Rungni. It's Magnus Mitbo's company. Everything they make, I love. I'm wearing all of their things right now, and I use the chalk, and they got 2 new products I want to tell you about right now. Magdust Super Dry Chalk, a brand new chalk offering from them. If you've got sweaty hands, or if you climb in the gym a lot, like on those volumes, or outside in warmer temperatures, the Magdust Super Dry is going to keep your hands sticky. You're going to chalk up less. You're going to climb more. I love the Super Dry. And then their pants. You guys, I love their pants so much. You know the harness pants are my favorite pants ever. They're light, they're stretchy, they're durable. And now they've got the harness utility pants. So it's got an elastic waistband and improved sizing, so you can dial in that perfect fit, more pockets, and the same great performance. I love everything they make, and you can get 15% off by using code STRUGGLE over at Rungni right now. Check it out. Let's get back to the show.
It's the thing with all of the climbs, and this is what I was saying a little before, in like when I was chatting to Tom, I think, and Ate, is I don't. What I was saying with like the V18 is it has to be a clear step above, and currently I'm not sure like how if the steps are big enough between 16 and 17 and 15, where there's a lot of 15s which are maybe sandbagged but feel as hard or harder than quite a few 16s, and then the 16s feel quite similar to the 15s, a lot of them. So even though there's maybe a clear step between them and 17, is it enough of a step, or is it all still a little kind of skewed one way? Where this is what I was thinking with spots at the time. I was kind of going through it in my head, trying to like when I was thinking about how the grade actually compared, and I was like, well, you know what? Compared to the 16s that I've kind of done and or tried or looked at, I'm like, it does seem like a clear step ahead, like above them. So it kind of makes sense to be that next grade. Same with Burden. When I did Alphane, I went, and at the end of the trip I did like this 16 Ephira in 2 sessions that trip. So it went, and it felt really hard, but nowhere near the same level, and went way faster. And it's like, ooh, maybe is it because that one's a 15 potentially and it shouldn't have been a 16, or is it because Alphane is actually the 17? I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to give like a definite answer on that because I'm still not sure. I feel like I need to spend more time traveling and actually trying different 16s even. And I also like wonder, because it's personal opinions, I'm like, I wonder if I've been wrong on a few of them as well. One thing I was talking about the other day, which I think works super well for this, is Badger Cove, where I've been trying that project. You've got 2 14s there that both seem solid in the grade now. They were debated a little, one of them at the beginning, but people seem to consistently take 14 for. There's 2 low starts to them, which get 15 on each one. That I first ascended, and one of them feels, they like clear steps up, so it makes sense for them to get the next grade. One of them feels like soft, one feels hard, but they both feel like they should be 15. And then you've got this other line I did there, Honey Badger, which I gave a 16, and that seems like a clear step up above those. So it all like in that crag, because they're all right next to each other, similar style, you can like easily see the steps between them, and it makes a lot of sense. Whereas when you're comparing blocks halfway around the world against each other, which are different styles, it feels really hard to like see the clear difference. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully some of that made sense.
Hey, if you like this video, check out these here because they are banger, and also subscribe to the channel because I put out a fresh video every single week with one of the best rock climbers in the world. Let's go.